if you want to see fascism, you can find fascism everywhere. I'm thinking about a fictional character, all right, a Dink Stover, right? He is the lead character of a novel, Stover at Yale, that was published in 1911. And here he describes the Yale University education process, and it just sounds like fascism if you're inclined to see things through the lens of fascism. Right, so Dink Stover was introduced to Yale democracy, and he suddenly realized that the stern discipline of it all, unnecessary, and stamping out individuality seemed to him at first, but subordinating everything to one purpose, eliminating the individual factor. If you want to read fascism, all right, you're going to read fascism into this, demanding absolute subordination to the whole, submerging everything into the machine. Right, this is a novel talking about the process at Yale, and this was similar at many other elite universities. So there are corporations such as IBM that produce corporation men, and there have been educational institutions focused on turning out a particular type of individual, and the way that they make this impact is by reducing the individuality factor. And you can look at this and say, oh my God, that's fascism. It's not fascism. Fascism was an ideology that arose in a particular time and place in response to the challenge of authoritarian totalitarian communism. And so fascism arose in Italy and perhaps also in Germany. Fascism is not inherently racist, so the racism of German Nazi ideology, one can argue, goes against fascism. But demanding absolute subordination to the whole, submerging everything into the machine, you have all sorts of groups with this mentality, and it doesn't make them fascist. This was not a machine only, when once accomplished, but an immense idea of sacrifice and self-abnegation, directly, clearly visualized. He perceived for the first time what he was to perceive in every side of his college career, that a standard had been fashioned to which, irresistibly, subtly, he would have to conform. So this is often a winning formula for businesses, for religious organizations, for all sorts of in-groups, for a football team. Right? Subordinating the individual to the needs of the group is often a winning strategy. In other contexts, it's a losing strategy. If you want to read fascism into it, you can, but if you want to have fidelity to the truth, fascism was an ideology that arose at a particular time in history